Hey everybody, it's Chuck Marone. How do you make a business hate sidewalks? I'm going to show you how right now. Hey, it's funny, someone biking on the sidewalk because it's not safe to be anywhere near the street. The state of Minnesota is coming in and redoing this highway through the middle of the city. And the state's passed a lot of rules. They are demanding now that the state build complete streets when they come into an urban area. I get the sentiment. You can see I'm on a horribly narrow sidewalk. You've got, poles in the middle of the street. This is not ADA compliant. This is not friendly in any way. This is a nasty street with a highway right adjacent to it. I think we should all be aware of the obvious and undeniable fact that the state of Minnesota Department of Transportation, as with every Department of Transportation across the country, is worried about one thing and one thing only. There's really very little nuance in this. They are primarily, first and foremost, 1 through 9 and a scale of 10 things. They're worried about moving traffic quickly. And so the objective and the goal they have here in the city is to move these vehicles through town as quickly as they can, regardless of the impact, regardless of whether that's good policy for the city, regardless of any other factor. But they have this other mandate where, hey, when you get into an urban area, stop screwing them up so bad, stop making them horrible places, build complete streets. Complete streets is the way we're going to solve this problem. And so what the state did when they were redesigning this, and I'll come back in a few months and show you what it actually looks like when it's done. What the state has done is said, we have to widen this sidewalk. We have to take the sidewalk that I'm on right now and make it wider. The one on the other side of the road is even more ridiculous. It's got to be 4 feet wide. It's really, really bad. We're going to take, and the first thing we're going to do after we have the high-speed roadway that we need in place, the lane dimensions and the turn lanes and all that, the next thing we're going to do is we'll widen the sidewalks, because that's what we're told our priority is. Complete streets. Got to have a sidewalk. What gets sacrificed in this? And I'll try to turn so you can see the street. Remember, you start with 4 lanes of traffic at high speeds. So 4 lanes, wide highway scaled, fast speeds. Then you have to add in turn lanes, because at that speed, you can't negotiate the intersections without signals. And so you've got to have plenty of room for stacking so that we can get those turning vehicles out of the way and the through vehicles can just speed through. What gets sacrificed in this? The on-street parking. The on-street parking is being removed through this entire corridor. And the reason is, we're being told, so that we can have wider sidewalks, so that we can have a complete street. Okay, you might say, well, Chuck, you're not a big fan of parking anyway, so what's the big deal? Do you know what I am a big fan of? I'm a big fan of these businesses. And all these businesses along here have been told, guess what? You're not going to have parking in front of your business anymore. And in fact, what you're going to need to do is put your entrance in the alley on the back side of this building. You need to put your entrance back here. So buildings that were built 100 years ago, more, that have been oriented this way before the highway was even here, now are being told, hey, guess what? You need to have your principal entrance in the back. I've talked to a bunch of these business owners and they're like, what? WTF? What are you talking about? You want people to come in and go past the boiler and the heater and the, my office before they get to my studio? What are you talking about? Here's the thing. We don't really care about these businesses. These are our most marginal businesses in town. You've got a tattoo parlor. You've got a, like temporary employment place. You've got a restaurant that's been closed since the pandemic. We don't care about these places. And the reasons we don't care about them is because, unlike the Taco John's and the Jimmy John's and the Taco Bell and the Walmart and the stuff out on the highway strip, these people don't have much power. They can't show up and command attention. Collectively, their properties are more financially productive than all of those places out on the strip. but individually, they don't actually have much power. You would think, well, maybe they'll, go through the Chamber of Commerce, or maybe they'll have some local group. Oh no, those people are bobos for the highway department too, because those people are a regional group that, again, kind of have the same dynamics. They kind of bow to, the big regional players as their primary supporters. These people here have no agency, in a sense, in the process and what's being done to them. And so they're going to lose all the parking in front of their place. And they're going to have to tell their clients, hey, come to the back here. Why are these all the marginal businesses in town? I think that's really easy to understand, because the highway destroyed any reason for wanting to be here. These businesses generally used to be, in a sense, a block off the downtown. They used to serve this core neighborhood. The people who arrived here used to arrive by foot. People who would drive in and come to the downtown or get here by train or whatever other way people used to get here, would come here and then walk around. And these places were essentially just on the edge. It was like the upstart kind of place. What we did is we ran a highway through the middle of the city, and we just destroyed their reason for being here. We made these places uneconomical. So today it is the most marginal businesses that we have. And we can disempower them, and we can disenfranchise them. And in the name of helping them with a complete street, we're going to take away the little bit that they have left for their business to survive. I am kind of down on complete streets, not because I disagree with the concept. I mean, I think the idea that streets should work for everyone is an obvious and logical one. What I've always had critical thoughts about complete streets is the way it's actually carried out. Because this is not a thoughtful idea, it's become another checklist. I'm going to end this little video by showing you this business here. This is the barn. This is one of our iconic restaurants. This thing has been here for a long, long time, and if you see the old photos of it, the door for the barn used to open onto this street. This was a different kind of street in a different kind of era. The barn, years ago, when I was a little kid, was redone, and they bought up a building here, tore down, now they got a parking lot, and they redid their door so their door opens this way. What we've done is we've made this space, the highway space, really, really negative space. And so nobody wants to be by it, nobody wants to be near it, nobody wants to interact with it. So everything that's there turns its back if it can on it, or is forced to ultimately turn its back on it. The kind of businesses that you end up with, the Taco John's, the Royal Tire that I showed you in a different video, these are all businesses that, from a productivity standpoint, are way, way, way lower. The state of Minnesota, through the Department of Transportation, is destroying the tax base of this city. And the only people who are against it are the pawn shops and the tattoo parlors and the people who nobody listens to.